The pineal gland, the eye between darkness. Chapter 1. The pineal gland. The third eye. The deity at the crossroads of the brain, at the very intersection of the two cerebral hemispheres, where the streams of consciousness and subconsciousness meet, lies a small pine cone-shaped structure, no larger than a grain of rice. Modern science calls it the pineal gland, an endocrine gland. But its location is truly astonishing. It sits in a cavity filled with cerebrospinal fluid, right at the crossroads of visual, auditory, and motor centers, like a deity presiding over the confluence of all information. What is even more special is that the pineal gland is the only structure in the brain that does not exist in a symmetrical pair, evoking the image of a single eye turned inward. It is also protected by the blood-brain barrier, making it a secret island, isolated from the chaotic flow of the body. This isolation led ancient philosophers to believe this was the dwelling place of the soul, a silent observatory where consciousness could sit back and contemplate itself. Evolution further confirms this. In ancient reptiles like the tuatara, the pineal gland is literally a parietal eye, capable of directly perceiving light. In humans, it has retreated deep inside, but still holds the role of the conductor, orchestrating our biological rhythms based on light. Therefore, the third eye symbol is no coincidence. It is the crystallization of an ancient intuition about an organ connecting the outer and inner worlds. Chapter 2. The pineal gland and religions. The universal language of inner light, a journey across cultures, reveals an astonishing coincidence, as if humanity is using different languages to describe the same truth. Ancient Egypt, the eye of Horus, Ujat, was not just a protective amulet, but also represented wholeness, restoration, and the power of enlightened perception. Egyptians believed it granted vision beyond space and time. Hinduism, the sixth primary chakra, Ajna, meaning to perceive or command, located between the eyebrows, is considered the center of intuition, wisdom, and insight. When this chakra is open, the practitioner transcends the illusion of duality, good, evil, self, other, to achieve unity. Taoism. Taoist sages described the crystal pearl, or upper cinnabar field, as the gathering place for spirit and energy, the crucible for refining the body and mind towards a state of immortality and enlightenment. Christianity. In the Bible, the verse, "The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light." Matthew 6:22 is interpreted by many mystical scholars as a reference to the inner light of the spirit, a light that needs neither sun nor moon. Despite different names, all point to a common center, an advanced center of perception where humans transcend the subject-object distinction to directly experience unity with the whole. The pineal gland in this context is no longer just a biological organ, but a symbol of the bridge between the tangible and the intangible. Chapter 3. Melatonin and serotonin, the chemical dance of light and darkness essay, is where science truly illuminates the ancient symbols. The pineal gland is the factory that directs a subtle and complex chemical dance between two key hormones. Serotonin, the daytime hormone. Produced vigorously under sunlight, it is the foundation for happiness, alertness, clear cognition, and learning ability. It is the fuel for consciousness operating in the physical world. Melatonin, the nighttime hormone. Produced from serotonin itself when night falls and blue light is absent. It is the signal for rest, cellular repair, memory consolidation, and dreams. This metabolic process is a masterpiece of nature. The pineal gland takes the hormone of consciousness and activity, serotonin, and transforms it into the hormone of the unconscious and restoration, melatonin. This is precisely a chemical journey of turning inward. When we live in harmony with this rhythm, waking with dawn and resting in darkness, we not only maintain physical health, but also allow the mind the necessary quietude for self-understanding. An imbalance in this dance, caused by nighttime screen use, shift work, is not just a cause of insomnia, but is likened to blinding the third eye physiologically, severing our connection to the universe's natural rhythm. Chapter 4. The Eye of Horus. The Anatomical Map of Awakening the Eye. Coincidence between the symbol of the Eye of Horus and the human brain is one of the most startling discoveries, where art and science converge. When this symbol is overlaid onto a cross-section of the brain at the level of the pineal gland, a strange geometrical correspondence is observed. The parts of the Eye of Horus, like the eyebrow, pupil, and swirls, correspond remarkably well to the locations of various neural structures and glands. It is not merely a spiritual symbol, but can also be seen as an anatomical map and metaphor for sensory integration. In mythology, the Eye of Horus was shattered and reassembled by the god Thoth. This symbolizes the journey of reunifying the fragments of the psyche, emotion, reason, instinct, memory, to achieve a state of wholeness and awakening. The pineal gland, located at the center of this map, is precisely the focal point of that unification. It reminds us that awakening is not about acquiring something new, but the process of reassembling our own pieces into a complete whole. Chapter 5. The Crystals Within. Brain sand and the piezoelectric effect, the quantum micro-machine inside. The adult pineal gland exist microcrystals of calcium carbonate and calcium phosphate, often poetically called brain sand. Science initially thought they were useless, degenerative byproducts of aging. However, deeper research uncovered a fascinating physical phenomenon. These crystals exhibit the piezoelectric effect. This means that, like quartz crystals in watches or diaphragms in microphones, they can convert mechanical energy, pressure, vibration, into electrical energy and vice versa. This opens up a captivating hypothesis. Could subtle vibrations from consciousness, such as sound waves from chanting, vibrations from sacred music, or even the concentrated stillness of meditation, generate microcurrents, thereby awakening or modulating the activity of the pineal gland? These inert crystals could be the physical micromechanism, the quantum machine, that translates the vibration of the mind into biological signals, providing a physical basis for the concept of spiritual energy mentioned in ancient traditions. Chapter 6. The Pineal Gland and Spiritual Experience. The Mystery of the Spirit Molecule. DMT, dimethyltryptamine, is one of the most powerful known psychedelics, often found in many plants. It can induce profound, reality-altering experiences within minutes, traversing space-time, encountering intelligent entities, and a feeling of complete merging with the universe, utterly dissolving the boundaries of the self. Researcher Dr. Rick Strassman, in his controversial experiments in the 1990s, proposed the shocking hypothesis that the pineal gland is the production site for endogenous DMT in our bodies. He suggested it is secreted at pivotal life moments, at birth, to help the soul transition from the isolated fetal world to the overwhelming external world. Near death, to generate out-of-body experiences, reduce fear, and ease the transition process. During deep meditative states, near-death experiences, or enlightenment, to open the perceptual gate, allowing the mind to access other dimensions of reality. Although direct human evidence remains controversial and requires further research, this hypothesis provides a plausible and fascinating chemical basis for the extraordinary spiritual experiences frequently reported. It suggests that the pineal gland not only controls ordinary sleep but is also a special chemical factory, a biological gateway that allows consciousness to access broader spectra of reality. Chapter 7. The Piezoelectric Effect. When consciousness vibrates. The bridge between matter and non-matter. This chapter directly connects chapters 5 and 6, forming a complete and captivating scientific theoretical argument. If the crystals in the pineal gland can convert vibration into electricity, piezoelectric effect, and if the pineal gland can produce DMT, the key that unlocks states of consciousness, then we have an enthralling theoretical model. Spiritual practices like meditation, chanting, OM, yoga, or prayer can create subtle yet powerful vibrations within the body and energy field. These vibrations, through the piezoelectric effect of the brain sand, would stimulate the pineal gland. This stimulation could act as a switch, triggering the synthesis and release of special neurotransmitters, like microdoses of endogenous DMT, or modulating brain waves from the beta state, alert, to alpha, theta, or even gamma, deep relaxation, meditation, creativity, and expanded awareness. This is the bridge between the world of matter, vibration, crystals, electric current, and the world of spirit, experience, consciousness, enlightenment. It suggests that the energy or vibration spoken of in spiritual traditions may not be a metaphor, but could exist as physical and biochemical phenomena that can be studied and understood in the future. Chapter 8. Activating the Third Eye. The journey back to natural rhythm. What does activating the third eye mean in a modern context? It is not a magical trick to see auras or have clairvoyance, but a comprehensive process of optimizing the biological and mental functions of the pineal gland, helping it operate according to its innate purpose. Biologically, it is about radically respecting the circadian rhythm, getting exposure to natural morning sunlight, sleeping in complete darkness, and avoiding blue light from electronic devices at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. A diet rich in tryptophan, the precursor to serotonin, also supports this process. Mentally, it is the persistent practice of stillness. When the mind settles down, the noise of the ego, of incessant thoughts, diminishes, allowing the subtle signals from within to be heard. Meditation, mindfulness, and walking in nature are the training grounds for this stillness. It is like cleaning a mirror. When the mirror of consciousness is free of dust, it clearly reflects the true nature of all things. At that point, the pineal gland does not open physically like a door, but rather functions optimally and harmoniously. Like a lotus flower, it does not need to be forced, but gradually blooms in the darkness of stillness, radiating the light of inner understanding, allowing us to see this world in a different light, the light of pure awareness, undistorted by prejudice and desire. The journey to awaken the third eye, ultimately, is not a quest for something external, but a journey back to the primordial rhythm of nature and an exploration of the vast ocean within ourselves.